Greetings, Portal Masters. Wait a minute. Wrong game. Another Toys to Life game? How many of these am I going to review? The answer is as long as they keep making them, or at least support them. Disney Infinity is dead. LEGO Dimensions is dead. Skylanders is MIA, but can Starlink breathe new life into the toys? Starlink was made by Ubisoft Toronto. They were told to combine breakthrough technology with innovative gameplay. They decided to make a Toys to Life game, but made the toys part completely optional. So you can buy the digital copy of the game, but then you miss out on the point. But it is cheaper to buy the digital version of the toys, and I did have to switch to playing it digitally because I lost one of the weapons that came with the game. I will say that I'm glad that I bought the Switch version because now I have a really nice R-Wing statue. The toys are very detailed. They're surprisingly light and feel very durable, which is good for a game made for kids where the ship is supposed to be mounted onto the controller. And it's rather adorable that the pilot goes inside the ship. The game recognizes which directions the weapons and wings are facing, and you can link extra wings to the ship if you desired. But the technology seems pretty old school. It's like an old console cartridge and how the pieces connect together, while most of the other games in the Toys to Life genre use near-field communication. The game runs incredible on the Switch, in docked or in handheld mode. Although in handheld mode I did get some frame rate dips, but only when fighting Legion Primes in their third phase. There's some texture and geometry pop-in, but it's not that bad. The environments are bright and colorful, and the fauna and flora are extremely varied, unlike No Man's Sky where a lot of the stuff looks the same. With a small amount of planets, they all look and feel different. For example, there's a desert planet, and if you hover over the water, your ship will start to overheat. Again, compared to No Man's Sky, where the planets start looking all the same after a while. The voice acting is okay. Slippy probably has the worst voice. It's not the voice itself, it's just that he has the voice of a child, and he talks like a robot. The ship is fast and able to traverse the planets and star systems in a few minutes. There's also a fast travel system in place just in case you're too far away. I never felt bored traveling because I was able to get anywhere I wanted relatively quickly. Combat is fun on the ground and in the air. I never felt like I was at a disadvantage unless I was at too low a level, but that's understandable. Starlink is a third-person shooter space exploration game. Instead of controlling a character like you normally would, you control a ship that controls like a character. The ship can hover at ground level and is able to jump and float around the ground, which makes for some really interesting platforming when it happens. In the air, you're given full flight control for aerial dogfighting. You can boost for extra speed or use a shield that will deflect enemy fire. The triggers will fire your weapons that are mounted on your wings, and only the R-Wing from Star Fox can fire weapons without having them mounted on the wings. There's 3 elements, fire, ice, and gravity, and they can affect your enemies with status effects. There's kinetic weapons that seem to be neutral, and stasis weapons are ones that I haven't tried yet. Each ship has its own stats, speed, handling, defense, and energy. You can swap out the weapons at any time in addition to swapping out the wings to customize your ship. The pilot also has their own ability. MacLeod can summon other Star Fox characters to help you out in battle. The ships and weapons can be upgraded with various parts that you collect as you progress through the game. They come in common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary, which will increase the stats of your ship and weapons. You'll collect resources called Electrum and Nova, which you can use to upgrade the Equinox, allowing you to develop upgrades further, allowing you to fuse them into higher rarities or duplicate them. Ethereum and Nova are also used to upgrade bases that you'll build on the planet to push back the Legion, because they'll start to take over the Atlas star system after you defeat the first Prime, because the main bad guy will start sending them out to take over. The main enemies are called the Legion, robotic monsters that were dormant but have reawakened. They start ravaging the planets and you'll need to destroy extractors, which are big tower mining things. And around the 5-hour mark, you'll be tasked with building up each planet's defenses, destroying extractors to lure out the primes to destroy them, so you can destroy a Legion ship called the Dreadnought. After you defeat the Dreadnought, you think, okay, game over. Nope, not at all. You got 3 more to destroy, and in order to do that, you have to go back to the planets, destroy extractors and Legion primes. For me, this was around the 6 or 7 hour mark, so now the game is about killing Legion, collecting resources, and building up your bases to push back the Legion. I'm enjoying myself, but this is a lot of time to dedicate to reaching the end of the game, and it does get kinda repetitive. Well, No, it doesn't kind of get repetitive. It does get repetitive. There's also a lot of side missions you can do to gain resources for defending the planets or getting mods for your ships and weapons. I stopped paying attention to the main story because I found it boring. I started skipping cutscenes because I found the gameplay a lot more fun. The characters are tropes of late 90s action shows for kids. They're all diverse characters of different ethnicities and genders, but they all have one personality trait. You got the Hispanic leader who's extremely optimistic, a wise Native American, an intelligent black girl, the tough white girl, the stupid white boy, and they have an alien friend who has amnesia that they know nothing about. But because I bought the Switch version, there's a secondary campaign that involves the Star Fox team looking for Wolf O'Donnell, which is what had my interest, especially because the Star Fox characters are much better written. But unfortunately, you need to continue the main campaign to keep that story going. I really like how ambitious Starlink is. It's doing the toys to life but making it optional, which is actually a good thing. However, they should be saying that the toys are optional and make that a selling factor, because I'd like to see another Starlink game, especially on the Switch, as this would be a really great way to reboot the Star Fox series, making it an open world space exploration game. They just need to cut the tower defense and resource gathering crap, or tweak it so that you can gather resources to craft into things like mods, as there's things you collect that are really just for upgrading the bases. The next Starlink should let you outside the ship so you can explore on the ground. But since it's Ubisoft, I have a feeling that they're going to screw it up next year, because they always release games like this once a year, but that's if they continue the series. And I hope they do continue it. Or maybe have Nintendo steal the idea for the next Star Fox games. This is everything that No Man's Sky should have been. Smaller planets, faster ships, better combat, and just overall better interactivity with the environment. If you've been thirsty for a space exploration game, this is it. Just get the Switch version, because the added Star Fox content is the perfect icing on this cake.